The Project. Kuwait. Learn. Live.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of The Project, and I get to sit down with Bron from Strong for Life. He coaches a couple of athletes here in Kuwait. He was ranked 42nd in the world in this year's CrossFit Games. Absolute beast. He almost beat out Matt Fraser, the world's strongest man in one of the events, and almost took the overall win. I think he was 3 seconds behind, he said. But he gets into some deep stuff about training, and he talks about how easy it is and the Polish methodology. And, you know, he just really kind of talks about the determination of the client, and that really kind of sets the precedent for someone to move forward in various sports and bring up their PR numbers. So if you stick around, you get to hear about his different methodologies and some of the methods used in Poland. And it's a very simple approach. So please leave us a rating and review, and you might win a free t-shirt out of it. Thanks.
All this and more in today's episode.
Mr. Bron from Poland, you coach Jasmine Galoff, Strong for Life online coaching, right?
Yes, exactly.
Joining me from Poland. Now, man, you have an interesting story. You started out as a banker, right? So can you dive into that? Just start right from the beginning, dude.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Bron. I'm from Poland. I was a banker for 6 years before I started to train, let's say, professional sport. At the beginning, it wasn't professional training. I started CrossFit after 3 years of working in the bank. So I had, let's say, just few hours per day to train. Also, I was a coach. So when I find out CrossFit, I started to train. I started to coach people because in my city, there was any coaches yet because it was 6 to 7 years ago and CrossFit was not well known in my city, in Olsztyn. And after 3 years of training, I decided to leave my job to have much more time for the trainings. And because once I found out this sport 6 years ago, I talked to myself that one day I would like to be able to compete with these guys who I watch on YouTube from this movie, from the CrossFit Games. And one day I will be there. And this was my motivation. It was keeping me for the 6 years, and it took me 6 years to go there. So my life was really changed since I find out CrossFit to the level how it looks like now.
That's amazing, man. Now, it took you 6 years to get there. How did you get started? What really drove you into it? Were you into fitness beforehand? I mean, you said you never thought you would because you worked in a bank. What can you say to the average person that has that dream, that has that ambition, and they work in a bank or behind a desk, and they're just like, oh, I want to start working out. I want to start, getting fit, healthier, but they always kind of, no, I'll do it next week. I'll do it tomorrow. What kind of gave you that push? Really, all right, I'm going to get out of my desk right now. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to the gym, start bench pressing, learning how to Olympic lift. Because did you break a record this year or set a record at the games this year? I heard you had like a mean lift at the games.
Main lift of the game and the games,
like
no.
a really big lift or something. Or Jocelyn was saying you did something at the
really
games.
big lift? I don't know. No. At the games, I was not able to lift anything heavy this year, unfortunately.
Oh no!
But before the games and in
my mistake. It was the handstand walk where you finished like in the top.
Yeah. The second event of the CrossFit Games, I was second overall in this event, and just 3 seconds after the Matt Fraser.
Wow!
So it just 3 seconds, and I would win this one. So small.
Small, man.
Just a little bit faster.
You almost beat Matt Fraser, dude. How did that feel, almost beating Matt Fraser?
It would be awesome. But anyway, taking second place on such competition is really a great feeling. So this is such moments winning, not always competitions, but hits, events is really good experience. And this is, for me, it means a lot because I really love competing. I really love to be on the arena, and I train mainly because of this, because to be able to win competitions. Frankly speaking, I don't like training, the routine, the volume of the trainings, day in the day. I really love the competition time when everyone show up, everyone have one shot to give their best, and only one wins. Yeah, only the best guy. So this is really motivate me.
Wow, man. So now you're ranked 43rd in the world, right? You're ranked number 43rd in the world,
Yeah,
correct?
42nd,
40,
I think.
42nd in the world. That's amazing. So are you going to continue competing in that high level? Like, what are your goals right now, just out of curiosity?
Once I have been there, I know how this competition looks like, the atmosphere, the people, all of the CrossFit games. This is really cool place to be, and I want come back to this competition as many times, as many years as I will be able, because CrossFit is a really fun sport. I really like and enjoy competing and all my experience in this sport. And every year I feel I can be better and better. I have 31. I am 31 right now, but I trained this sport on the high level, let's say 3 years only. So I think I can be much more better for 2-3 years. So who knows? For sure, I will be trained. I will be compete on high level at least 2-3 more years.
That's amazing, man. That's definitely an amazing feat. I love the backstory. I mean, it's a true from, behind a desk to the main stage of a major sport. Now, let's dive in a little bit to Strong for Life, your online coaching. Now, Josim started out as an athlete. He was in Spartan races, endurance races, and then he decided to do CrossFit. Right around the same time I was just getting into CrossFit. And his level has gone up like tenfold since when he started to right now, especially when it comes to the heavy lifting. He can lift a lot of weight for only doing it for a year. What are your training methodologies?
They are really simple, like CrossFit is. Just, mastering the skills, the technique, and then put some volume on this. And this is really nothing special, just having some experience in combining movements and training schedule, just to know how to recover from each day, from each lift, from each movements. In my training methodology, I usually program for my athletes, especially from the strength training, the things that works for me, the things which help me become quite strong dude. And I try to, share everything I know, all my knowledge about it in my programming. So choosing from the online programs available in the market, mine is mostly focused on the strength. So if you want to be stronger athlete, so this Strong for Life program is for you. But of course, we train full CrossFit, so we also do gymnastic stuff, skills, endurance stuff, and so on. But the main focus is on the strength.
So now when you talk about the strength, let's talk about the big lifts, the squat, the deadlift, and overhead press. Those big lifts right there. Let's talk about those. How do you program for someone to increase their PRs and their numbers in the squat, the deadlift, and the overhead press? Like, what are some of your secrets to improving those numbers?
Secrets. There are no secrets. There's only, hard work. The percentage work on all movements, starting from the volume, then intensification and tests. I'm really a big fan of the Charles Poliquin methodology. My strength coach who helped me develop my strength 3 years ago, Wojciech from Poland, helps me a lot. He using Charles Poliquin methodology. He used this on me, and it really helps me to get to those big numbers. So I am using this knowledge, which I know from Wojciech, from my coach.
Can you dive into the methodology a little bit and explain a little bit of that for the listeners?
So let's say that this is kind of block training. So we have 3 blocks. First block is just an adaptation to the schedule of the weights, which will be trained for the next couple of blocks. So we are starting moving in this. The second block is for the mass gain, for the big sets, just a lot of volume of the training, just to get some mass, just to get ready for the big lifts. And the third block is for the big main lifts. And after that, we finish with some high numbers, low reps, intensification, and at the end, some tests and so on. So this is how it looks like. It's really, really simple for the training.
I was going to say that's a very simple approach. And it's funny because I just did an interview a while back with Mikko Arompa. He's a masters athlete, and his methodology was exactly the same. It's simple, taking the simplest approach to a lot of these complex movements and just kind of just going over volume and, just doing the simple things. Do you have a favorite accessory movement that you give your clients or you give yourself?
Yeah, baby, having my experience because in the same time when I started training CrossFit, I was playing a lot with the kettlebells, with the big bells, the hardstyle methodology. So I don't know if you know that guy, Pavel Tsatsouline. He invented also the strange programming, but with the kettlebells only. And I was using some of the movements from his methodology, especially the Turkish get-ups, the windmills, band pressing. So these kind of accessory movements are my favorites. So with the heavy kettlebells and all which have movements not covered in the, let's say, particular strange movements in our sport. Let's say for the squats, for the deadlift, we move almost in the same pattern. And if you will take into consideration the Turkish get-up, windmill, this is much more rotation movements and not quite simple movements also. And they really helped me in my training to getting a much more stronger core. So I also program quite a lot of these to my athletes to help them also to prevent their shoulders, because I trained 6 years and I never have any issues with my shoulders in CrossFit. So I think the training with the kettlebells helps me in this to keep my shoulders healthy. So I also use the kettlebells with this same approach.
That's amazing. I mean, shoulders are usually the first things to go on a lot of people. Now, can you talk a little bit about some of the other methods used in Poland? You guys have turned out some extremely strong athletes and some strongmen winners. So what are some other methodologies used in Poland for building the strength that the Polish possess? I mean, you guys are really strong and you've had a lot of strong athletes. So what else goes on over there? I mean, is it something in the water?
We don't have as good water in Russia, but we have really good coaches in the strength training as well. But I think that this is not mainly because of the strength training methodology, but the individual athlete's determination to be just the best in the sport. Like we talked earlier, the strength training systems especially are quite simple, and your numbers depends mainly on this, how long you will be able to train with no injury, because the injury is the only thing you can stop you from getting these numbers up. And in my opinion, this is only the mother of the smart strength training. Do not go too high all the time, because we need to take time to recover to our body just to get it stronger, not to push it too much in the short period of time to get some numbers in the short time, and then can risk a lot of the injury. So I think this is the point, the determination of the people, because we as a Polish, we are really strong dudes, but we have strong heads. We want to do things, and if you want to become stronger, you must really want it. Okay, no, just going to the gym and lift the numbers the coach just wrote to you. You must really badly want to lift this weight, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Now, how do you translate that into your clients? There are a lot of people that say, yes, I want to do CrossFit, or yes, I want to lose weight, or I want to build strength. But sometimes it's a difference of 20 pounds on the bar, where when you add the 20 pounds and you press up and you got veins popping out of your head and you're really trying, versus you say it's a 20-pound PR and it goes up easy. So how do you convince your clients, like, hey, add a little bit more weight, add a little bit more intensity, especially in CrossFit, because you only make the workout as hard as you want it. So what is your method to, sort of talk to your clients and build them up a little bit?
Well, CrossFit is a really fun sport because of the people, because of we used to compete even in the trainings. So for having the better results on the training is not really hard, because this is also the good point of the group programming, such as my programming Strong for Life, because this is the group of the people who train together. But they're all from the different places in the world. So we do training, we compare our scores at the end of the day. So this motivates people to to have better from our friends from the programming as well. But from the clients, the most important thing for me, and the things which I all used to highlight in my programming, is the focus on the consistency and on the technique, because this is the two major keys in that sport, not the intensity. Intensity is just it's not always good to do CrossFit on 100% every day, because if you will try to do CrossFit as best as you can, just 3-4 days in a row, you will need at least 1 week off. So my advice is always to train. If you are going to the gym to train, just train. Focus on the movements, focus on the consistency, focus on the technique. Numbers will come. Okay, your coach will tell you when the numbers will come. Then just try to go harder. And if you are doing some tests, qualifications, these are tests. Okay, so then you can push as much as you can. Then think on your to do as many, let's say, quality reps as you can. Okay, so your body will learn how to move and how to breathe in CrossFit, is really in this sport, and then you will be able to be really good athlete. Okay.
So now when you do have athletes I keep referring to and talking about Jasim, did he come into it with a good base of strength, or did you have to build that over time? And when you left banking into CrossFit, did you already have a very good base of strength, or was that built?
Do I have the base of my strength?
With Jasim and with yourself, because Jasim just started in CrossFit, and did he have a good base of strength coming in? And also, when you started in CrossFit, was there a good base, or was it just built up from nothing?
Actually, he have some base of the strength, but right now I can see the numbers really go high in his training. In a lot of other athletes from my program, I can see the strength is improving. In some guys, just this goes faster. In some guys, slower, but it always go up. So from the wide perspective, I can see that the program is work. So that's good. The Jasem he's really a motivated guy. So like I said, the level of your motivation is really determine how fast you will build the numbers on the bar. So you must really want to become stronger. So
that's amazing, man. I think we can end it on that, seeing how the internet connection isn't really doing well with us right now. So thank you very much for coming on the Project Kuwait. We really appreciate it. Hopefully we can either see you here sometime in Kuwait, or maybe one day we'll come to Poland, man.
You're welcome in Poland. Just let me know. It will be really cool to see you here. Of course, I would like to also come to Kuwait to see you guys, to visit Jasem. Maybe we will try to organize a kind of seminar focused on the strength training and on the kettlebell accessory, because this might work. Maybe something at the end of the next year. We'll see.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. You can also find us on Instagram at The Project Kuwait. Thank you, and join us next time.